you saw a movie recently that you wanted to comment on?
We have to do this.
The big event of 2022.
The big event of whatever the fuck year this is. The Matrix, whatever, Resurrections. This is all I'll say.
This is such a build-up for a movie review. It's a movie review.
It's more than that for me. But all I'm going to say is, not to get super depressing, but this movie is like what happens to people in their 30s. You know, it's called The Matrix, your teens, The Matrix Reloaded, third one, your 20s. This is your 30s, and that's what the movie was. Depressing. Like, it was a fucking bad dream. It was a nightmare. I think I just was in a nightmare last night. I don't think it couldn't have been reality, you know?
I thought the same thing, but the whole time I was thinking, if this is a nightmare, shouldn't I feel any other emotion than boredom?
Yeah, it was so boring. But I mean, like, I swear to God, the only thing in it that I enjoyed was like seeing Trinity and Neo together looking older. So I'm like, that's nice. I remember the first movie. Everything else, just absolute travesty. Like Jordan was saying, the meta stuff was like interesting. I would argue if you have a shit film with shit ideas, you do meta stuff because it makes you look witty and it's self-reflective and that's still shit.
No, yeah, but it's a better alternative to having a bunch of friendly robots that you could tell were friendly because the lights in their eyes were blue. And the sound effects were just like immediately from one of those soundboards that you pranked kids with in year 9.
Well,
I honestly think what they
fuck you to Warner Brothers?
Exactly.
Or not? Like, what was... Because I tried reading up on it.
20 minutes of it was,
understand.
and then I think everybody tuned out because it just became hard to follow.
And
then the only question after that was, why is Barney from How I Met Your Mother in this? And why is he the architect?
Nothing makes sense.
Why did you... Spoiler alert, by the way.
Yeah, spoiler alert.
Look, if you're going to the Matrix, like, we're saving you money here.
All right, let's
I'm going to say this. I think
Say
that if
whatever you
they
want,
made The Matrix just completely self-aware and that it was just paying out Warner Brothers and they turned it into an entire season sitcom with a laugh track,
would have been a bit better.
That'd be great.
It would have great's a fucking strong word. It would have been better. A little bit better.
Yeah.
Also would have put the first movie to absolute...
The cast would have made more sense.
Everything would have made more sense. But
even the robots would make more sense.
Yes, but it still should have been... It should have been a mini-series on fucking HBO. It had nothing to do with The Matrix. It should have been The Matrix. It looked like it was made for TV. The fucking animation was worse! 20 years later and it's fucking devolved?
Yeah,
How?
that's true.
If they started a Patreon to say, chip in, we've only got 200 million, I would have chipped in. I'd have been like...
Even after watching Matrix Reloaded and Revolution?
I didn't mind Reloaded that bad.
What about Revolution?
I'm still in there. Yeah, I still would have it's just anyway, go on. Tell me what you think.
Do you think that the fight scenes
terrible?
They were terrible.
They
like
were
I remember
so
watching
bad.
The Matrix. I can't really remember too much of it. But watching it, I was like, whoa, like he's flying, like all that sort of stuff. It was incredible.
Yeah, the first
but this one is just, I don't know, punches. And that's about it. Like nothing else.
They cut away
happens.
before there's any punch. They cut before there's a punch. I mean, it is a fan fiction movie of a loser nerd making some weird fan fiction about the Matrix. It was mind-bogglingly, depressingly bad.
At the end of the day, I thought it was just a romance movie. Like, it didn't really have, I guess, the depth that the original Matrix had.
How annoying were the characters, Chad?
And they all looked very tired. They just looked tired.
So
they didn't look like they wanted to be there.
But don't you think that this is the great thing about The Matrix 4? It is just a metaphor for Hollywood now. Hollywood is just tired.
But The Matrix deserves more.
Well, they've had a fucking 2-year break.
Who?
The Hollywood. Rejuvenate, come back.
No, but this is the whole thing. This is all they have is, you remember The Matrix, right? Yes. You're going to come see it, yeah? All right.
Well, when was The Matrix? It would have been made...
No, I'm talking about like the Hollywood break of the COVID. But the first Matrix, which in my opinion, I don't want to watch this one because I didn't even like second and third. Fair. Matrix 1 came out in 1997 and it is legitimately one of the best movies ever made.
Wasn't it 99?
99, yeah, I think you're right. 99.
But here's an alternative, right? Rack with me here, Jordan, for 1 second. I know this is crazy. How about you got $200 million? You know, the Warner Brothers. How about this? How about you spend a little bit longer in the writing room? How about you hire some writers that aren't shit? Either fuck off the old directors if they're not capable, hire someone that can direct, spend a little bit more time on it, and try to write something that is new and interesting and good. It wouldn't be that universe is incredible. It wouldn't be that hard. Take a story from the Animatrix and make that a fucking movie. There was so many fucking options here to do something incredible.
You heard it here, folks.
It's just the absolute
But here's the big question.
cop-out. It's a cop-out.
Scorsese is taking notes, miss. Don't worry.
I honestly really would have liked Matrix the sitcom, and now that I want to kind of suggest that to a TV studio because I think that would be legitimately hilarious.
It would be a lot better if they just made
And
it
also,
a complete joke.
You know what else I was
basically
saying?
a joke.
It was a joke, but also I was saying to you too. You know how there is? It came out on Boxing Day. Yeah. You know how there is that joke in The Simpsons where there's that poster that says "Coming soon." A very Matrixy Christmas, and it's Neo with that. It should have been that, and that would have been a better title.
But that's what it basically was.